Pittsburgh Steelers rookie cornerback Joey Porter Jr. called out Odell Beckham Jr. after locking him down and getting an interception versus the Ravens this past Sunday. So, Joey Porter Jr., he hasn't seen much playing time on the field, but the time that he has seen on the field, he's made the most of it. And after the Steelers had a set of unfortunate events happen where they had the Ravens punting them the ball, but then Gunnar Olszewski fumbled it. They returned it to the Steelers inside the 10-yard line. It looked like the Steelers, who were already down 10-8 at the time, were gonna lose the game because they're on the 5-yard line, could have easily scored a touchdown, made it a 9-point game, and the Steelers are down by 2 possessions. They couldn't score on offense, but the Ravens in the goal line opportunity, Lamar Jackson tried throwing a back shoulder fade to Odell Beckham Jr., but who was there? Who locked him down? Joey Porter Jr. He got the interception and picked off Lamar Jackson, which ended up leading the Steelers to a game-winning drive with George Pickens getting the game-winning touchdown. But without Joey Porter Jr. making that interception, the win would not have been possible, and the Steelers would have went on to lose that game. So, Joey Porter Jr., you all might be wondering, when did he call out Odell Beckham Jr.? Well, in case you haven't seen, with NFL Films, which is kind of just like a media thing with the NFL, where they could record the players, record like the sidelines and stuff like that, Joey Porter Jr. has some choice words for Odell Beckham Jr. He said, in quotes, "I was like, go ahead and run that. I already knew what was coming. I strapped his old bleep. I told him." So, that's what he had to say about Odell Beckham Jr., kind of calling him out for being old and locking him down. And also, after the interception, we all saw him run to the sideline and hand the ball to Mike Tomlin. Well, that's because beforehand, Joey Porter Jr. revealed that Mike Tomlin said to him, "Get an interception and give me the ball on the sideline." So, when JPJ got the interception, he ran directly to Mike Tomlin on the sideline, accepted his challenge, and gave him the ball, and kind of saw it in a different light now, because Mike Tomlin challenged him, and he accepted the challenge, and he made the challenge come reality. So him being able to do that just shows more faith, and maybe Mike Tomlin will have in him to play him more in the next coming games. And in case you don't know, Joey Porter Sr., in his prime, was always like a big trash talker, and I guess Joey Porter Jr., JPJ, took over from his father in this rivalry. And he talked about the rivalry a little bit, and this is what he had to say. "Just happy to be able to make a play for this team at a critical moment of the game. I just really put myself in the Steelers-Baltimore rivalry. I'm happy. I already had it in the back of my mind. They're going to try me on this play." So, that's what he had to say, and it's really nice to see that he's involved in this rivalry now after his dad has been in it for many years. So him coming into it, he's always said that he watched this rivalry as a kid. He watched the Steelers versus Ravens, obviously, when he was little, kind of seeing them go back and forth, kind of see the big plays happen on the field, the physical play, the trash talking that went on, and now that he's a part of it, he joined in right away, made a big play, and did some trash talking as well. Odell Beckham Jr., this decade, he's been one of the best wide receivers, but this is an old version of Odell Beckham Jr. He's not the same player, but JPJ locking him down, that has to give him some kind of confidence and maybe more eyes on him from the coaches looking to play him more in the game. And now, with this being said, since I already kind of mentioned him calling out Odell Beckham Jr. and all that, I'm just going to go on a little bit of a rant here about why the Steelers should be playing JPJ more than Patrick Peterson and Levi Wallace to this point. And I know there's a double-sided to this, so I'm going to cover both sides. Let me just cover this side first. Obviously, he's a rookie, but he was picked in the 32nd pick, which is usually the first round, but for this year, it was the second round. So he's still a rookie, obviously. But even though he is a rookie, it doesn't mean that you could just sit him and not play him, especially when he looks to be the best cornerback that you have on the team. Yes, I said it. He looks like the best cornerback the Steelers have on the roster. Yes, you could say Levi Wallace has 2 interceptions. Patrick Peterson has an interception. But just from an eye look and an eye test, watching the players play on the field, he's the only one consistently in coverage making plays. Other than those interceptions, what has Levi Wallace done? Other than the one interception, what has Patrick Peterson done? Other than let up a whole bunch of yards and get a lucky interception where they didn't have to even earn it. It just came right in their hands and it was kind of gift wrapped to them in the breadbasket. What do they actually have to do? What have they actually done on the field? They haven't really done much. They are the reason why the Steelers are always in a bad situation and why the wide receivers are always open. But JPJ, on the other hand, Joey Porter Jr., whenever he's on the field, per the stats, he is allowing a 0 passer rating whenever he's in coverage. Meaning that I don't even think he's allowed one reception whenever he's been targeted. Whenever he's been targeted, it was either that interception against Odell or a pass defense, or just him completely locking up the wide receiver and it being a really bad throw because they have nowhere to go with the football. Joey Porter Jr., he's the only person on the team who actually plays press, plays up on the wide receiver. When looking at Levi Wallace play, he plays like 10 yards back, gives the wide receiver so much space to run, so much space to get open. Patrick Peterson, he's old, going on like 34 years old. He gives the wide receiver 10 plus yards as well. At this point in his career, he's no longer a press cornerback. He's the guy who has to play off, or else he's going to get beat deep. And we've seen that. So the Steelers, they don't have a guy between those two who play press, who at least play up on the wide receiver. You don't have to play press, but at least play up on the wide receiver. Stop giving them 10 yards of separation route, which makes it so much easier to run routes. The only guy who actually plays up on the wide receiver has been JPJ, and that's what I've been waiting for. I've been waiting for cornerbacks from the Steelers who play up on the wide receiver. Don't allow the wide receiver to get so much separation, so much room to run, because that makes it easier on the wide receivers to get open. And that has always been the Steelers' problem. Dating all the way back a few years ago, the Steelers haven't had a guy to be able to play up on a wide receiver. It seems like the Steelers, they always get these older cornerbacks. Like even when Joe Hayden was here, he was in the late stages of his career. He had to play back as well. He wasn't playing up on the wide receiver. And that's been the Steelers' problem. They've always had these guys at cornerback. Yes, they're big names, but they're not the type of cornerbacks who play up on the wide receiver. When you look around the league, you look at the good teams, the good cornerbacks in this league, they play up on the wide receiver. Even if you're not jamming them at the line of scrimmage because you're not really talented enough at that position to do that, you're just playing up on the wide receiver. It helps you kind of slow down their routes. Yes, it's an easier in break than out break, but playing up on the wide receiver actually helps the cornerback, what I believe. I'm not saying that Joey Porter Jr. is not talented enough to play up on the wide receiver and press, because in college, he was the most pressed cornerback out of college. From this upcoming draft, this draft that just passed. He's the guy who played the most press in college from cornerbacks. So the Steelers got someone who could play press, and that's what he likes to do. He's not more of this interception guy, because looking at college, he wasn't a big interception guy. He only had like one, or I believe, or something like that. He wasn't a big interception, someone who's going to read the quarterback, jump the ball, make a play. But he was a guy to play press, play up, and play physical on the wide receiver. And he's showing that already for the Steelers, allowing 0 receptions on targets for the Steelers and getting that interception, that very, very clutch interception against the Ravens, which basically hand-wrapped the Steelers the win versus the Ravens. And without him, none of it would have been possible. The Steelers' record would have been, 2-4? So there was a whole different story if they would have lost the game, but Joey Porter Jr. saved the Steelers and won the game. But with that being said, that's kind of my rant on this situation and JPJ and him calling out Odell Beckham Jr. And I really like the attitude that he's bringing, him calling out Odell, kind of knowing what's going to happen, knowing that he has to be a part of this rivalry. AFC North is tough football. He's been a part of it because he's JP Sr.'s kid, and he's been around this rivalry. He watched on TV, he's went to the games, he watched it live on the field. He's been a part of it. I love the trash talking from him. I love the attitude that he's bringing to the team, and that's something we need more of from this defense, and especially from the defensive backs and the cornerback position. But let me know down in the comments below, how do you feel about this? How do you feel about JPJ's comments towards Odell Beckham Jr., him calling him out, saying that he strapped him and that he's old? And how do you feel about JPJ moving forward? Do you believe he should be given a spot as a starter, as we've seen in this Ravens game where he kind of took over for Patrick Peterson in the second half and started playing way more? Do you believe he should be given more of an opportunity, or do you believe he's still a rookie? He should have to wait his time before he's given more opportunities. Let me know down in the comments below. And also, don't forget to subscribe to this channel down below as well. If you like all kinds of Steelers news, rumors, highlights, reports, analysis, breakdowns, everything like that, reactions, I cover it all, and I make a video every single day covering Steelers news. So if you want to stay updated with everything Steelers football, this is a spot for it. I cover all the offseason and the regular season right now. So like, comment, subscribe, turn on notifications, click that bell down below for this channel, and I'll see you guys all later. Till next time, I'm out. Peace.